ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണർ ഓഫ് ആന്ധ്രാപ്രദേശ് ശ്രീ അബ്ദുൽ നസീർ ജി, ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണർ ഓഫ് ഗോവ ശ്രീ ശ്രീധരൻ പിള്ളൈ ജി, former Kerala High Court Judge Shri Hariharan Nair ji, former Vice Chancellor of Calicut University Dr. Abdul Salam ji, former Vice Chancellor of Central University Gopa Kumar ji, Rama Pillai ji, प्रिय सहोदरी सहोदरन मारे नमस्कारम. Again I have a problem of speaking in Malayalam. Wanted to speak with you, but I will try to speak in English. It will be difficult for you also to some extent understand Hindi, so I will be preferring English. First of all, I welcome both the governors, His Excellency, their Excellencies in Kerala, myself being the Governor of Kerala, one from Andhra Pradesh and another from Goa. I welcome you, both of you, here in my state. As you know, Sridharan Pillai ji is from Kerala, so he has a connection with us and with me also. But Abdul Nazir ji also has a connection with me. Both of us speak Konkani. That is the language from Goa and he is from Mangaluru. So both of us speak Konkani, understand Konkani. So all three of us have some connection other than governors also. Today's function is on the eve of having emergency in this country. That was on 25th of June 1975. My understanding is this: many of our young generation do not know what the emergency meant for all of the people, and how does it affect us that time and is even today. We never knew that. But the book which has been written by Sridharan ji itself tells us it is a history book. For us, it has been documented, well documented book. I had opportunity to go through it, both the books, and you can certainly rely upon its all facts. He has given all the necessary references from where the information has been collected. Many of them he himself has been witness, and that has been recorded in these two books. How the situation came here to get emergency in this country, what compelled Indira ji to have emergency and to clamp and arrest all the people here, all leaders of opposition. What exactly it was meaning to us. All that has been recorded in this book. Of course, he had already written earlier books in Malayalam also. But this particular book itself gives a window into it. What would have compelled Indira ji to impose emergency in this country. And it is always said that we are the largest democracy in the world. And that largest democracy itself tells us that how democratic we all people are. Democracy is nothing new to us. It has been in our blood, it has been in our culture for years together. It is nothing new to us. But modern democracy, what we call it as a Westminster parliamentary system, that has been taken by us, and the framers of our constitution have imbibed all aspects of democracy's aspects in the Western countries. Okay, in that sense, For them it is a new concept in India. So you must have seen, or those who must have read some Western authors. Winston Churchill, the then Prime Minister of England, British, was opposed to giving freedom to India. He has very clearly mentioned, because the reason he has given, he says that Indians do not deserve democracy. He never knew what Indians were. But after few years, that is in the year 1975, when emergency was imposed in our country, that time many people said what Winston Churchill had said was true, but it was true for a very short period. It was true for a very short period, because it was in 75 June, and next June, after 2 years, in the year 1977, when the elections were held here, the so-called illiterate, uneducated people of India overthrew that autocratic regime here. They voted for a democracy again. They saw what autocracy can do, what dictatorship can do. Indira Gandhi was in the role of dictatorship. She was a dictator herself during that period. As we know all what she has been doing, honorable governors have already explained to us what were its impact constitutionally, what was its impact socially, that also has been discussed here. But when the constitution was there, that constitution was thrown to dustbin by the very same Indira ji, the Prime Minister, only because she was being opposed by everybody, by the people, public, and as well as the people and the leaders in her party also. For her, being in the seat was the democracy. Being in the Prime Minister's seat was the democracy for her. And that was the reason why the emergency was imposed here. And after that, we have seen what has happened throughout the country. Lakhs of people were imprisoned. It was already decided in the month of, probably in the month of January 1975, that we have to do something to establish the supremacy of Indira ji and Sanjay Gandhi that time. But gradually the situation was worsening. Under the leadership of Jaiprakash Narayan, Lok Sangharsha Samiti was established. And then that time we could see how the whole country was moving behind Jaiprakash ji. When I was in Bihar, I had an opportunity to visit his house there in Patna. Paid my homage to him. I saw all the descriptions, all the photographs, how Jaiprakash ji was leading the whole agitation in the country. When there was on 25th of June evening at the Ram Lila Maidan in New Delhi, a very big rally was held there. Indira Gandhi could sense the tone of the country. She could sense how the country is thinking about her, because that very rally itself was so huge. And Indira ji, the Jaiprakash ji announced in that rally, it was in Hindi, Simhasan khali karo, janata aa rahi hai. People are coming, you get down from your throne now. That was the message given by that big rally. Indira ji could sense that. And immediately in the evening, that night to itself, without having any proper legitimation, she imposed emergency in this country. It should have been a cabinet decision by constitutional requirements. Should have been discussed in the cabinet. At night at 11:45 in the PM, she goes to the President of India, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad was the president, asks him to sign on that. He did not question about it, how and where have you decided this? She said, I have decided. I means everything. Indira stands for I. That was what being discussed in this country that time. So egoistic was the nature of the rulers that time, that Devkant Barua, the president of Congress that time, he said, Indira is India and India is Indira. That was the personification of everything that time. There was nothing called India now. There is only Indira. That brought us to do all the agonies. After the arrest of all the people, you must go through the book. You will get every whole details of how the people were arrested. And afterwards, you must read one more book, that is L.K. Advaniji's Prisoner's Scrapbook. It is written when he was in prison. Advaniji was arrested in Bengaluru. He was there. He was along with Shashi Bhushan, father of present day's Prashant Bhushan's father, Shashi Bhushan, Shanti Bhushan, and then Atalji, Advaniji, all they were on a parliamentary committee in Bengaluru. They were arrested that night on the 25th of June, knocking the doors. K.R. Malkani has written a very good book. Its name is Midnight Knock. Everybody was arrested. Many people were arrested. Those who were not related to even opposition, or they were opposing to emergency. Not even related to Jayaprakash's Lok Sangharsha Samiti. But they were arrested. Not only they were arrested, the freedom of press was curtailed. Power supply to all media in New Delhi was cut. That was a decision taken there. When Siddhartha Shankar Ray from West Bengal, he came to their Delhi, he said, yes, it is to be cut. Sanjay Gandhi said, yes, I have ordered everybody to not to print anybody. Next day edition will not come, because it will report that emergency has been imposed, and it will report the big rally of Jayaprakash Narayan. So that was the magnitude of our emergency that time. This has to be brought before the public. This has to be brought before all people here. We must understand this. New generation doesn't know. It has been mentioned that I was also in jail along with my father. It is not a single incident. Many people were there. Thousands and lakhs of people, those who were not related to any Lok Sangharsh Samiti's programs also, they were put into jail. In Goa, we were fortunate not to have atrocities on us. But Kerala was not that fortunate. All those who were imprisoned, to the extent, I think probably about 7,000 to 8,000 people were arrested in Kerala itself. And many of them had to face brutal atrocities from the jail authorities and the police here and the government here at that time. But nobody had daring to come out and say anything about this. Those who they are sitting in the power today, even they were arrested. But they had no guts to come out and say something. Only in the name of Lok Sangharsh Samiti, as Pilleji was telling us, people who had gathered that time, Janasangha, RSS and some socialists, they had courage to come out and protest against the emergency. So all this was atrocities. It was a era of atrocities. Lakhs of people had been in jail, and everything was very cool and calm. The reports which came to Indira ji was that everything is very favorable for you. She went for elections, and the results, we all of us know what it was. The results were that Indira ji and Sanjay Gandhi had to face a defeat in their constituencies, and that time we re-established democracy in this country. We re-established. That was the greatness of not the people who were in jail. That was the greatness, not the people who were on the streets fighting for this. That was the greatness of our people, whom we consider as illiterate. Those people, they voted for democracy, and that is the reason why we are having such fruits of all people of democracy here. we are very much thankful to that. We remember, I just remember I was in Panaji, Goa. That time counting was going. It was a ballot paper. And the counting, the late night, the results were coming. And all the communication apparatus were blocked by the government. That time All India Radio, that time no DD was there, Doordarshan was not there, only All India Radio. But everything was blocked. You could not get the message, what is happening in Uttar Pradesh, what is happening in Rai Bareli, what is happening in Amethi. But late night after phone calls were here, we got the news that Sanjay Gandhi lost. Immediately also got the news that Indira Gandhi herself lost. So all this was happening, but everything was choked, everything was blocked. And during the emergency, what our honorable governors were discussing regarding the provisions in the constitution, everybody, even Honorable Justice Abdul Nazirji also must have been pained for this. That time, when the Chief Justice of India was there, he openly said in the courts, in the Supreme Court, that during emergency, even the right to life is suspended. Government officer can come and kill you, shoot you anytime without giving any reason. Right to life is also suspended. And that was accepted. That time A.N. Ray was the Chief Justice of India. All this was happening under the banner of democracy. All this was happening under the banner of welfare to the people. It was exactly the opposite. Now we are here, we are celebrating this. We must be thankful to the people of India that they have given us back the democracy. And this also should be there. In Kerala, there is some discussion going that children in the school curriculum, they must be given some curriculum. It should be that what are the rights of governor and what are his duties of the governor. That is being discussed in some quarters. Somebody told me that. Whether it is necessary or not, let them decide. But it is very much necessary to introduce all these atrocities committed by the people then, those who were governor, those who were ruling this country. All those atrocities have to be recorded in our curriculum. It has to be into our syllabus. Let the next generation know what was happening in this country. It is said that vigilance is the best virtue. We must be vigilant all the time, not to just reread and again the history, what was happening that time, just to be ourselves vigilant so that nobody in the future will dare to clamp emergency in this country. That is what we need. These two books, that is another is a Shah Commission's report, which was, very rightly the caption has been given, buried report. It is buried now. But the findings of Shah Commission's report should be brought before the public. What happened, why happened, who made it? And that has to be discussed very widely by all people. We must understand this. It is not necessary that we will be saying that we will put into jail and that. I don't want that also. But the next generation must know who were responsible for these atrocities in this country, who were responsible to claim for clamping emergency in this country, who were responsible to destroy democracy in this country. That should be known to our next generation. That is the reason why such things should come into our syllabus. This book, these two books will guide us forever. I am very much thankful to Sridharan Pilleji for having brought this particular document, a very rightful document before us, so that we will read this. I request all of you to go through both the books and understand what the situation that time and why it should not come again to this country again. I thank all of you here for having come and witness this fantastic program. I thank both the governors, all the dignitaries on the dais and here also, and again I thank you, Nanni.